All right. Okay, my friends, welcome back to Sales Life. Finally, we're back, Sean. We've never done anything like this before, but this is a please respond episode. It's a quick episode. We're kind of in and out with this, and we're asking for the first time for a response from the audience.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out how big the audience is, if there is an audience. Yeah, this is the first time we'll be reaching out and waiting to hear back.
Yeah. And you said before, we don't have a plan for this. Are you just going to talk? And I said, yes. So yeah. I'm trying to get a response out of you, and I'm trying to get a response out of our audience. But here's the premise, Sean, is, okay, so basically, is it fair to say that you and I, in a weird way, our friendship and this entire project exists because of this crazy thing called LinkedIn?
100%. Yeah. I'm a big believer in LinkedIn. Yeah.
That's where you and I met.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, that is probably where you found us. So first of all, thank you. Sean, I don't know if we've ever stopped and done this. Yeah. Thank you. If you're out there listening, you might be listening, you might be reading, however you're consuming this. Thank you. And, I think the truth is, Sean and I have been working on a big project, and we've come to the realization that without consistently experimenting with our creator journey and content, none of this would exist.
Yeah.
And, Sean, I don't know how long you would say, like, if I go back, let's say I go back 4 years when I started posting on LinkedIn and started reading you and others, and there really weren't any others. And, it took me probably 6 months to sort of embrace this idea of, like, I'm going to do this daily and I'm going to see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
How long do you think it took you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you put your toe in the water first, right? And yeah, I think I would say without a doubt, the hurdles are all just, between the ears, right? It's just mental hurdles, right? So you start out and you're like, is this worth it? Does anybody care? Is this lame? All the things that your mind will say, and all of them are as true as you make them, posting on LinkedIn is as lame as you make it to be. It's worth it if it's worth it to you. I say, like, the magic in life all comes from relationships with other people. It's all about other people. And the fact that we are friends and have this little fun podcast project because we just met on LinkedIn. You just think about it. You never know where your life will go, the twists and turns it will take. But I guarantee those twists and turns come with relationships with other people. Like, those are the markers of, like, where your life starts turning.
Right.
And LinkedIn's a place where you get to increase your surface area for meeting other people. Especially like-minded people, right? Like-minded people,
and hearing you say all this, I'm sort of like, I'm really glad I didn't quit. 6 months in, when I was getting some reaction, but not a ton, and I'm like, is this worth it? Whatever. And so the question that you and I have been throwing around with, and this leads into what we're going to ask our audience to get back with us, but let's say it took me 6 months to embrace this idea. You and I are asking the question, could you do this in 5 days? Like, could you embrace becoming a LinkedIn creator? And certainly this applies to other platforms, but specifically, could you embrace becoming a LinkedIn creator in just 5 days? So for the first time publicly, Sean, we're sharing that we're responding in the form of a discussion course. I'll say course/discussion. It's kind of podcasty, but it's also a 5-day course. And this is sort of, you're not going to hear a lot about it because Sean and I don't want to, like, sell stuff, but it's really hard for us not to take a combined 7 or 8 years of LinkedIn knowledge and put it in a concise place where people that we potentially care about can come get it.
Yeah. I've been on the platform, I think 7 or 8 years for me. And throughout those 7 or 8 years, yeah, plus yours, right? But in that time, I've posted a whole lot of why LinkedIn is valuable and effective ways to do LinkedIn, and why taking 5 to 10 minutes a day to write a post sharpens your sales skills in every other context you're in. Like, it makes you a better writer. It teaches you how to write good hooks to capture attention. If you're in sales, the entirety of your sales process starts with capturing attention. And LinkedIn's a place where you get to learn how to do that. So I've talked about it ad nauseum. I'm a big believer in it. And yeah, we said, you know what? Let's just condense 7 years of sporadic postings about LinkedIn, and then you and I get our best thoughts on it and put it together in something that's digestible. And people,
I would have never done it alone, which is funny. I just would have ever done it. And
same. I kind of am allergic to courses and masterminds and all these sort of sales things. I hate it. I'm going to be quite honest. This is my mental block because I just don't like this type of stuff.
I'm glad you're being honest.
Yeah. Well, it's just like I think it's valuable. I just don't like. I'm not. I'm not in the business world to sell courses. Let's put it that way. But you and I started with, hey, what if we got our best thoughts together on how you do LinkedIn well, and then just like the way we do things, we couldn't not do an excellent job with it. So it turned into like a conversation that turned into hours and hours of material and a 5-day video course, and we're like, oh my God, this thing just created itself.
Well, and to be fair, it gives us, we get a lot of DMs, or I do. I know you probably get 4 or 5 times the amount of DMs from people that are sort of on the sidelines of this journey. And they're 100%. Saying, how do I start this? How did you get into this, and why did you get into this? And I see the benefits, but I don't have a ton of ideas. And
totally.
And I want to stay consistent. So part of this is in response to just people that are reaching out to us that we can't respond to individually. And it's like, again, condense it all, put it out there.
And that's how it started. I think like 2 weeks ago, somebody called me with the question that I got for the 100th time. Yeah. It was like, is this LinkedIn stuff worth it? Can you help me understand? I'm like, dang it. If it seems unfathomable to me that people don't realize that LinkedIn is worth it. And so it's like, that's like highlighting a big problem, which you and I discussed. And so I think, let's start with talking about it. Is it worth it?
Right.
Why do it?
Well, you actually reached out to me and was like, okay, we're just going to do this. Like, put all our thoughts down, and we're going to create a course or whatever. And that literal week, I had 2 listings from basically online LinkedIn type stuff, like 2 actual listings. And I was like, yes, I believe in this 100%. So it's currently going on. Like, you and I are recording, we're creating and recording the content right now. And that leads us into the purpose of this mini episode. So if you're listening at this point, please respond to us. And that's because day 5 of this course is a tips and tricks, right? So the subject of day 5 is all about simple Q&A, tips and tricks, best practices. And we want to know from you, if you're listening, what do you want to hear, right? Like, again, Sean, when I think about myself, when I started this journey, I would have been asking things like, what are your biggest inspirations? How do you figure out what to say, right? How long should my posts be? Why does Sean write posts where there's a bunch of space in between some of the sentences? Okay, that's easier to read, or whatever. What's the key to a great hook? I don't know what questions you had early on.
No, I mean, not, dude. I love your approach to it because you, I think, are more methodical and thoughtful. I just kind of stumbled into just posting with the idea of I'm just going to just share myself and be a little bit vulnerable and just be honest, right? So it's interesting getting thoughts together over over the last couple of weeks about this. It's like, dang, I have a lot to say about it, but I didn't go into it like studying it. It just like, I guess you could say just 7 or 8 years of trial and error. Yeah.
Right. So here you go. What do you want to know? DM us, email us, send a pigeon. Any platform you can comment on this episode. You can comment on the YouTube video. We don't really care how you get it to us, but if you like Sales Life and you're interested in either taking or enhancing your creator journey, this is a cool opportunity to ask a question. We may not have the answers. We're not pretending to have all of the answers, but hopefully between 8+ years of experience, we could come up with something that would answer yours. So drop us a line, give us a question, and it will incorporate that into the last day of the course.
Love it.
For Sean Ward, I'm Justin Ryder. This has been Sales Life.